This is Vietnamese rice wine, and this is my 4th glass. Because yes, Xiaomi's newest announcement today is this painful to talk about. And life right now in lockdown is really boring and I've been depressed lately. But today we have the announcement of the Poco X3 GT. Not the Poco F3 GT, the Poco X3 GT. Now, this device was announced about a month ago back in China as the Redmi Note 10 Pro 5G. If I'm slurring my words, I'm sorry, but this is like 50% alcohol. No, 40% alcohol, no, it doesn't matter. Essentially, this is going to be a Dimensity 1100 chipset, which is going to offer performance similar to a Snapdragon 765G. I'll put the benchmarks up on screen right now. UFS 3.1 storage, the same LCD panel that we have on the Poco X3 Pro and Poco X3, which is the same or a very similar LCD panel as what we have on the Mi 10T Pro, which is a totally fine panel. I compared that versus the 90 Hertz AMOLED panel on my Xiaomi Mi 10, and I'll have that video for you guys up here. But if you guys are wondering why would Xiaomi launch a more premium gaming phone with a Dimensity 1100 chipset versus their Dimensity 1200 chipset, it's because these are kind of slated for different regions. Now I will go ahead and I will have some of those regions listed up here, but if you guys want to see a bigger press conference or a press briefing announcement, I'll have it on the TechFluent page, which is the sponsor for most of these videos now. It's a project I'm working on, and if you guys want to help me get through 3.5 months of unemployment and the potential of looking at alcoholism, go ahead and check it out on Facebook. But this device is going to have some really good specs, but the thing about it that is kind of confusing is the price point, because the price point of this device is going to be right at that $300 mark, and the Poco F3 GT is coming in, depending upon the configuration, a 6 GB RAM, 128 gigabyte of storage model variant of the F3 GT is going to be coming in at like $55 to $60 more. So if you want to get the X3 GT with the top of the line storage variant, it's going to be within $10 or $25 of the Poco F3 GT base variant. But essentially, both of these devices are going to be budget gaming powerhouses, meaning at the $300 range, what is the most horsepower, what is the best Antutu score that you can get for the dollar. Now, the Poco X3 GT is going to feature the same 67 watt wired charging as the F3 GT, which splits the battery charge into 2 separate cells on the device, and it does this so that it can charge faster, and the 5,000 milliamp hour battery should charge in under 45 minutes or so, according to Xiaomi, and I'll have their exact numbers up here. But essentially, if you are in one of these regions, would you get the Poco X3 GT or the F3 GT? Do the adjustable shoulder buttons for gaming plus the extra horsepower of the Dimensity 1200 chipset make it a worthwhile investment for you? Or do you just want the most budget-oriented, highest Antutu score, highest response rate, highest refresh rate screen possible? To me personally, I think that Xiaomi adding more devices to their lineup just makes their lineup harder and harder to track. On top of that, the fact that we are 2 to 3 months away maybe of Android 12 rolling out means that you're going to get Android 12 and Android 13, and then that's it in regards to updates, which is going to last a year and a half or so, depending upon the update cycle. Whereas if you waited another 2 or 3 months for Android 12 to be rolled out to whatever the next Xiaomi device is, you would be getting Android 12 out of the box, Android 13, and Android 14. And I'm starting to get the feeling that buying a Xiaomi device before the newest version of Android comes out means that you are ultimately shortening that device's lifespan because you're shortening the update cycle, and thus you're not getting the full 2 years of updates because it's not actually 2 years, it's just 2 Android cycles plus 3 of MIUI. But what I think about it doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to be getting a Samsung device as my next device. Link to that video up here. I want to know how you guys feel about the Poco X3 GT. I think that for mobile gamers out there and people that want the best and highest Antutu score on a budget, it's going to be a killer deal, because for mobile gaming, outside of emulators, which the only way emulators are going to come to MediaTek chipsets, Antutu benchmark scores literally relate directly to frame rates and directly to gaming performance. And very rarely do custom ROMs change that outright performance, which is what we're buying the device for gaming. But you tell me.